Let's rank the top 25 point guards in NBA history, but before we do that, we gotta go over a quick rule, and that is I'm only counting designated point guards. For example, LeBron can technically play the point, but he's more of a forward. James Harden can also play the point and once did for a few seasons, but he's more of a shooting guard. I want to mainly stick to designated point guards, as I will be having a shooting guard and forward list in the future. So without further ado, let's rebound onto that list. In 25th place, we have Rajon Rondo. 2 words, playoff Rondo, but if you need more words, Rajon Rondo is one of the rare classic point guards who is pass first and can run the point by the book. In his prime, he had great playmaking skills and court vision. In 24th place is Penny Hardaway. If Penny was healthier throughout his career, he could have easily been much higher on this list. Regardless, thanks to his two-way abilities to play great defense, be a good rebounder, and score is what puts him on the top 25 list. In 23rd place is Kyle Lowry. Better late than never. Kyle is a late bloomer in the NBA. His first 7 seasons were as a solid role player and an okay starter, but when he hit his prime, he developed into an elite point guard who can not only score but share the rock and is a great 3-point shooter, shooting over 41% in his best shooting season beyond the arc. In 22nd place is Kevin Johnson. Kevin is a Suns legend who can not only score but was also a great passer, as he can easily average over 10 assists and 20 points per game. He did make it all the way to the finals alongside Chuck. Had he dethroned the GOAT, maybe his ranking would have been higher. In 21st place is Sidney Moncrief. Sidney is an extremely underrated player. He's one of the best two-way point guards in NBA history. He can score and play lockdown defense. He only averaged about 3 assists per game, and he did have more success as a shooting guard, which is why he ranks so low. And if you're quickly wondering why a combo guard like this made it onto this list while James Harden wouldn't, is because I see more of a point guard who can play the shooting guard rather than a shooting guard who can play the point guard. In 20th place is Nate Archibald. Nate Tiny Archibald was proof that size didn't matter. He was a monster on the court. In his best season, he played a crazy 46 minutes per game, averaging 34 points per game and had 11.4 assists. He also did something not many NBA players could do, and that's come back from an Achilles injury. And sure, his scoring average dropped post-injury, but I would say that's more due to him being on a stacked Celtics team at the time. In 19th place is Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson is yet another extremely underrated player. He is an NBA champion and a finals MVP, plus a two-way great player. Not only can this guy easily put up 19 points per game, he can also lock down his opponents, and after all, he is a 9-time all-defensive player. Rest in peace to Dennis Johnson. In 18th place is Mark Price, and speaking of underrated players, Mark Price is probably my pick for the most underrated player of all time. I still don't have a good reason why this guy is not in the Hall of Fame. He is a part of the 50-40-90 club. That's over 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the line. He is one of the best 3-point shooters and free throw shooters the game has ever seen. He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry, and doing it in the 90s when the defense was tougher and the 3-point line wasn't as emphasized. In 17th place is Tony Parker. Without Tony Parker, there's no Spurs dynasty during the 2000s and even the 2010s, and he wasn't just along for the ride. He was one of the core centerpieces of the team as both a finals MVP, 6-time All-Star, and 4-time champion. In 16th place is Walt Fraser. Walt is a unique case for his era. He played in the 60s and 70s, and he was a score-first point guard and a two-way player who can play lockdown defense. He is a 7-time all-defensive player, and in his best scoring season, he put up over 23 points per game. He's also, of course, a 2-time champion. In 15th place is Gary Payton. The Glove is easily one of the best defensive players on this list, if not the best. He is the 1996 Defensive Player of the Year, a 9-time All-Star and 9-time All-Defensive Player. He did win a ring in 2006 during the end of his career, playing a veteran role with Miami. Had he won in his prime or was a better passer, I would have ranked him higher. In 14th place is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie has one of the best ball handling skills in NBA history, if not the best. It's a close call between Allen Iverson, Isaiah Thomas, and Kyrie himself. Kyrie is an offensive nightmare and does have the ability to easily drop 40 points in any given night. He's also one of the most clutch players on this list. Uncle Drew was an important factor factor in the Cavs coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the NBA Finals against the Warriors. In 13th place is Bob Cousy. Bob is without a doubt an underrated Celtics legend. He is a 6-time champ, 1956 regular season MVP, and an 8-time assist champ. He was an all-star during his entire Celtics run, and had he played in a tougher era or had less help alongside him, I may have ranked him higher. In 12th place is Derrick Rose. Ranking Derrick Rose in an overall ranking is quite tough due to his injuries, and had he had health on his side, I could have easily put him into the top 10. Regardless, top 15 is nothing to scoff at. He is the youngest MVP in NBA history and was a slashing machine who can cut through just about any defense into the paint. In 11th place is Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is the modern day Oscar Robertson. He's a triple-double machine and an MVP, plus he's an extremely athletic player and led the league in assists 3 times so far and led the league in scoring twice so far. Let's see if he and the Lakers can win a chip in the future. In 10th place is Damian Lillard. Damian is one of the most underrated point guards on this list. He is a bubble MVP, and in general I do think he's an MVP caliber player. His scoring and range is what makes him such a dangerous opponent. In the modern NBA, maybe only Steph Curry has better lights out shooting range in terms of score first point guards. James Harden I would consider a shooting guard. Regardless, Damian could end up higher on this list in the future. In 9th place is Oscar Robertson. The Big O was lights out from the get-go. He had one of the best rookie seasons in NBA history and is the original triple-double machine. He's an MVP and an NBA champ. There's just so much competition going forward. I would have ranked him higher had he won it all while playing for the Royals instead of a second option on the Bucks. In 8th place is Jason Kidd. Kidd is an all-around legendary point guard. He is the classic textbook coach on the court playmaker who has great court vision and was an above average defender. While his scoring numbers don't look as flashy as the score first point guards, he can still put up 18 points per game as a pass first point guard. He led the Nets to the finals during his prime, and he won a ring alongside Dirk in the 2011 NBA Finals. Kidd also ranked second most all time in total assists and total steals at 12,091 assists and 2,684 steals. In 7th place is Allen Iverson. The answer has the most 40-plus point games compared to any point guard in NBA history, with 79 games scoring over 40. The only players ahead of him are shooting guards and forwards, and these players are pretty much GOAT status with the likes of Wilt, Kobe, and MJ. Keep in mind, Allen is listed at 6 feet, but rumor has it he's around 5'10". He is one of the best ball handlers and dribblers in NBA history. Plus, he led an offensively challenged Sixers team all the way to the finals. He's an MVP, and I would have ranked him higher if he was more efficient. In 6th place is Chris Paul. If you had to define point guard with only 2 words, those 2 words would be Chris Paul. He is exactly what a textbook point guard should be. He has an insane basketball IQ and is also a really efficient player. Even at his older age, he can still keep up with the league and perform at a high level. Don't forget that he led the league in stealing 6 times and was a 9-time all-defensive player. So not only is he an offensive playmaking machine, he's also a great defender as well. In 5th place is Steve Nash. Nash will always be remembered for his elite passing abilities, but many will overlook the fact that if he was a score-first point guard, he could have easily been Steph Curry before Steph Curry. He was a really efficient scorer and is a part of the 50-40-90 club. That's over 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the line. He is a 2-time MVP, and while many say he didn't deserve his second MVP, he most certainly was an MVP caliber player during his prime. In 4th place is John Stockton. What's the best thing a pass first point guard can do offensively? That's getting assists. What's the best thing a point guard can do defensively? That's getting steals. Well, John Stockton leads the league in both total steals and total assists. John has 15,806 total assists. He also has 3,265 total steals. And if need be, he was also a great scorer as well. He can put up over 17 points per game during his best scoring seasons. And he is a 5-time all-defensive player, so he is an excellent two-way point guard. Had he won a ring, I probably would have ranked him higher. Zeke played in one of the toughest eras of basketball and shined during said era, as he is a 2-time champ and a finals MVP. He is one of the best dribblers and ball handlers the game has ever seen. His toughness and grit was one of the leading factors for the bad boy Pistons being such a force on the court. I have him ranked so high because his game has little flaws. While he was a bit undersized at 6'1", he makes up for that by having a near unblockable jump shot with a high release. He was a straight up winner and a team leader. In 2nd place place is Steph Curry. Curry is most likely the greatest shooter to ever step foot on a basketball court so far. His career is not even complete, and he already has the resume that is capable of being in a GOAT conversation. While I don't think he's one of the GOATs yet, he is worthy of hearing the argument out. So far, he's a 2-time MVP, 3-time NBA champ, a steals champ. Even at 32 years old, he had the highest scoring average during the 2021 season at 32 points per game. In first place is Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is not only the best point guard in NBA history, he's one of the best players of all time, period. He is the best passer the league has ever seen. He's both a 3-time MVP and 3-time Finals MVP, plus a 5-time NBA champ. He can score if you need him, as he can easily put up 20 points per game while dishing out double-digit assists. He is one of the main reasons why the Showtime era even exists. So here are my top 25 point guards of all time. Let me know what you think of this list and what type of videos you'd like to see in the future. Don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.